Okay, now we're going to look at some examples in this revision of the 5 laws of exponents. That when you multiply things of the same base, you add. When you divide, you subtract. When you put a power to a power, you multiply. When you've got brackets, those powers will affect both things in the product and both things in the quotient. Those are the laws, and here's some examples. So we're supposed to simplify this. Well, 2 times 3, that's just 6. But I can write down the a because it's the same base and go 2 plus 3, and that's 5. And anything to the 0 power is 1. So there, we use the laws of exponents to simplify that. Let's look here. Well, all of these are base 3. So we can write down, this is really 3 to the 1 to help us. Then we write down the 3, and we can add these little numbers on top. 5 and 1 and 3, that's 9. We can add the 2 and 6 and get 8. And when we divide, we subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. So it's 3 to the 1, which is really 3. Let's look at this question. See, when we take minus 3a cubed b and square it, each part of the product, minus 3 times a cubed times b, is raised to the second power. So it's minus 3 times minus 3, which is 9. 3 times 2 is 6 there. And 1 times 2, b squared, is just b squared. Now, we've got a's here, so we can subtract them. 6 minus 5. We can subtract this b is 2 minus 3. It's negative 1. You know, we could have been smarter. If we leave the b, the number in the bottom, you're allowed to subtract and go 3 minus 2 and just leave the b in the bottom. So we could have actually skipped this thing. But it's sort of good to see b to the minus 1 is really b right there. Okay, there's more than one way to do some of these things. Okay, let's look at this one here. Now there's, like I said, there's sometimes different ways you can start and do this. But if you see a negative power, you can just turn this upside down and make it a positive power. Now that gets rid of some of your negatives in here. Now we have only one negative. Now we just think, oh, it's probably a lot simpler to simplify this thing right here if we can. So we go 8 divided by 2 is 4. There we've got a 4 on the top. Y to the minus 4, let's just zip it to the bottom because that's the way negative exponents work. Anything to the negative n is 1 over that thing to the positive power. Now we cube everything. 4 cubed is 64. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 12. Let's look at 2 more examples. These are in your notes. How would you simplify something like this? Now, this is done a lot. Put it into powers of primes and then work it out. It makes it much easier. See, 16 is 2 to the 4th power. You can put 16 in your calculator and go shift and then hit FACT, and it'll tell you that, 2 to the 4th. 8 is 2 cubed. Now, 3 times minus 4, the power to a power is minus 12. Same base, 4 plus minus 12 is minus 8. So it's 1 over 2 to the 8th. You might want to put that in your calculator and see that it's 256. Same thing here, powers of primes. Instead of 9, you go 3 squared. But 2 to the 4th power is 8. And you have to know 27 is 3 cubed. You should know those famous squares and cubes, like 3 cubed and 4 cubed and 5 cubed. Now we're dividing two things at the same base, so we subtract their exponents, and we get 3 to the 5th. And your calculator will tell you that this is 243. Well, now we're going to do some revision questions that help us go over all of those ideas here. And it comes from grade 10, but good luck with all those questions.